Right, so today we're going to be fitting a spring on the Golf GTI. So we're going to be fitting it's a genuine spring. It's second hand. Basically, I was like debating in between getting lowering springs or not, but it's a shared car. Me and my missus drive it. She's got to go over speed bumps. So we decided we'd get an original spring. Now I could have bought a new set of 2 front springs, but I didn't want the ride height to differ from the back. So what I've done is I've just bought a second-hand low mileage spring. Is what it is, easy enough to fit. The other one was cracked, so I'll show you that when we take it off anyway, but might as well jump straight into the job now. Right guys, so we've taken the wheel off, got an axle standing underneath it. So now we need to get this strut out from the car. So in this case, there is one bolt holding the strut in, so it's a spline and a nut on the other end, so this should be fairly easy to get out. And then once we've got this one out, we'll use the spreading tool around the back, and then there's 3 at the top, and there's a drop link here which is a 19 I think. So we'll crack on, we'll undo this bolt now and then do the drop link. So taking the bolt out now, it's basically an 18mm and an M14 spline. I'm going to move on to do these 3 that are underneath now. I'll let you know what size they are. Then we've got to undo the hub nut just so we can slide the drive shaft out. So when we pop the bottom arm down, you can pull it out and there'll be nothing holding it in. And then obviously we've got this drop link to do as well. We'll do that now. Right, so all 3 of them bolts are undone. They were 15mm knots. And then I've tried to undo the drop link, but it started spinning. Gone in dry, no lube, so we need to put a 6mm Allen key in the end, I think it is. So I've just got that on the end of a ratchet, so we want that in the end of there. We're going to loosen it off whilst holding a spanner on this nut, just to get the rest of the drop link out. Drop link's now off into one side. Give me some grief that did. Don't ever let a drop link grief you. So we've got a 24mm socket. We need to undo the drive shaft bolt. So once that's undone, then we'll be able to look into the top and look at the 3 bolts that are above the car. Bolts now out, drive shaft push back. All you need to do is just pry this down off the 2 bolts. So you can get a pry bar in. Might just need a little wiggle. I'll get the bigger pry bar on it and just wiggle it down. You want to just wiggle this whilst you're prying down and it should pop out. Okay, so the bottom arm's out. You can see the bolts there, attached from the bottom arm. It just took a bit of bigger pry bar to pry that down. The drive shaft's out, literally just taps back out of the hub. So it's a case now using this, my new tool, to go. It goes round the back, there we go, you can see there, in between the gap, and you basically just turn it and it'll open it up. See how it's elongated? So we'll put it in that gap and we'll turn it and it'll open this up, so then we'll be able to slide the hub off of the strut. Now these, you can pick these up for about £12, and I don't think I could live without them now after seeing what they do. Okay, so that's turned. You can see how much that's open now in the wide part. It's literally slid down on its own. So there shouldn't be anything stopping this now in reality. Not that I can see. So this should literally slide off. I don't think I need to undo that steering arm. So we're just going to tap it down a little bit now and see if this is what it should look like once you've got this off. It literally just slides off, slides down. You're left with your strut there, it's just hanging by the 3 bolts at the top. So all your lines, you can literally rest it just a couple of inches off the floor. All the lines are loose, none of them are tight, so there's no need to worry about them. So we'll open the bonnet now and I'll show you the bolts and how to get to them. So to get to the strut bolts, they're underneath this. So you pull this rubber off, about halfway along it joins, see there. This will need to be moved out of the way. as such, and all it does is it's clipped in around the windscreen. So you'll just give it a wiggle, maybe 2 hands, just pop it up, but it should just pull straight up. You have to go straight, make sure you've now got the trim out the way. Just spin it round. I suppose it's the 13mm bolts. Yeah, 13mm bolts. So we're going to loosen all these off now, and the strut should just pop down. See, all the 13mm bolts are done. All it takes is just to pull it down, and this is what you'd be left with, the strut itself. Now I want to show you where mine's cracked. That's the spring, that's where it snaps. So obviously it's supposed to run all the way around the bottom layer of this, so you can see where it has been sat, but then it's obviously snapped at some point, and it's been snapped a while. But the top mount looks fairly new, so I'm happy with that. So it's just going to be a case of putting the spring compressors on the spring. Now if you're ruthless, you just undo the nut, but we'll have it done properly so it doesn't go flying across the drive. Put the spring compressors on there, tighten the spring compressors up so the spring's compressed. Then we'll undo this bolt at the top, raise that up, then we can put the new spring back on the right way around, slide it down and put the top mount back on. You can see we've got this spring compressed, it's actually loose inside there now. It's just a case of getting this top button done. You can see the spring's now off. Yeah, I ended up using a gun in the end just to raise it. You can see the new spring's fitted, the strut's up in place. I've done all these 13mm up now. It's just a case of putting this plastic trim back on top. Slides in sort of that way first. We'll clean it properly in a sec. So now we've got to slide the hub up onto the strut, pull it out, slide the drive shaft in, pry the bottom arm down and put the box back up, so it's like a reverse process basically. I'm sure you can do that yourself, but thank you very much for watching.